Now, we reported more than 24 students brought a gun to class in JCPS last year. Most of those were loaded. But what happened with those students after the news cameras and the headlines went away? Well, Wave News troubleshooter Natalia Martinez got some answers and got a few surprises along the way in her latest investigation.
It's been a rough couple of years for JCPS, from COVID to a mass exodus of teachers and the unrelenting number of guns at schools. Parent after parent worried sick, sometimes hitting their boiling point.
It's out of control for the safety of my kids.
It was thanks to sources, parents and teachers, that we confirmed reports of 24 guns seized from students who'd brought them to class in the last school year. But when I got an open records request back from the district a couple of weeks ago, the number of total gun incidents, not just the gun seized, was 35.
They can't get away from it.
Christopher Tuex of the organization Game Changers, which focuses on youth violence, has talked to dozens of JCPS students who are simply in school, doing the right thing, trying to learn. With a 5th grader bringing a gun to McFerrin Elementary last November, innocence, he says, is no more.
No, those days are over with. They totally understand these are the real life possibilities and factual situations that happen now in school. It's very sad, but it's real.
He described secondary trauma. Kids are fearful, he said, that one day those same guns described by JCPS as not being used in a threatening manner may in fact hurt them or an innocent friend.
Some kids can't even verbalize their fears.
And they know exactly who is walking in their hallways. That prompted us to ask, what did happen to those kids who got busted with a gun? We went back to 2019 to see how the policy has changed or if there's been any updates when it comes to behavioral issues involving guns at schools. Plus, we also took a closer look to see what the policy actually says. For example, the student with the gun will be placed in an alternative school for a period of 1 year, it says, and won't be returned to the same school. Here's how that played out in those 35 gun incidents in the last school year. The district placed only 4 of those 35 students on NTI. They suspended 29 of them, but none for longer than 11 days. Those 29 students, the district said, were assigned to an alternative school, but none of them permanently. Meaning, after an evaluation, those 29 students may have been placed in a different JCPS school. And because of state laws preventing the identification of students, parents at the new school may not even know. What would you tell a parent who says, I'm nervous about my kid going back?
Well, I'd say we've invested a whole lot and done a lot of work since last year's.
Superintendent Marty Polio points to school safety administrators assigned to schools filled by regular civilians to oversee safety issues. Then there's the new SSOs. But out of the goal of 30 armed officers for the start of this school year, so far there are 17, and that's counting the supervisors. The mandatory training,
Access to guns in our communities right now are making the job very difficult for everybody across this nation. You've got to do something to keep guns out of the hands of kids and children.
With 8 JCPS students killed this last school year and another 87 shot, some of those children bringing the guns to school, Tuex says, feel like they have no choice.
Those kids don't mind saying, I'm the tough person. I'm the person that's about packing a gun. I'm the person that's about letting you know that I will use a gun, whether it's in the neighborhood or, God forbid, in one of the Jefferson County Public Schools.
Is that a matter of survival for them?
In their mindsets it is, in their thinking process it is. It's a sad thinking process, but it's a reality right now.
That was Natalia Martinez reporting. The district's policy states they may place a student who's been charged with or convicted of a felony outside of campus in an alternative school. Court liaison informs JCPS when there's a case. They didn't have a capacity number for the 2 alternative schools, but the district did provide an average attendance. That number was 185 students last year.